Hi and welcome to the first boss in Tempest Keep and the first video in this series. Tempest Keep is one of the two raids that will start here in Phase 2, and I'll go through all of the bosses and their mechanics and how we're going to do it. Quick disclaimer for this video, this is shot on retail, so damage numbers, health bars and a bit with the strategies might change, but I'll try and show you all of the mechanics as best as I can, and we'll go from there. The rest should be described in detail on the website in the guide. So, this first boss, Allah, one of the most iconic, is fought in two phases. For this, we'll need 3 tanks and we'll need a minimum of 6 healers. I don't think you would go over 6 healers. You could maybe supplement with a 7th, but depends on your DPS. Now, this fight is in 2 phases, as I said. There's a platform phase, which is the one we'll initially start in, and then there's a rebirth phase, as Allah is a phoenix. Allah has 5 mechanics during this. The most important one is platform change, which is the central mechanic of this fight. As you might be able to see, I've marked up 6 markers here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are the 6 potential landing spots of Allah during Phase 1. Allah never moves unless it's changing platform, so you can't move the boss around and just trying to keep it on the platform. The reason for this is that one of the central mechanics of this phase is Flame Buffet. So if no one is within melee range of Allah, it will cast Flame Buffet, which increases fire damage taken to the highest threat target. Now, the other mechanic is whenever Allah flies across these platforms, he will also summon a Phoenix Ad. This needs to be picked up by a Paladin tank who will be stood down here on the ground floor. The other people down on this ground floor will be healers healing the Paladin tank and all of the ranged. Melee, you will stay up on the top floor and follow around with Allah. For tanking, we'll have a tank here at platform 1, which starts the fight. This will normally be the main tank, and we'll have a tank over here on the 4th platform, which will be the off tank. After 30 seconds have passed, Allah will randomly choose a new platform to land on. If she lands on either the 2nd platform or the 6th platform here, so either red or purple, then the tank tanking here on platform 1 will have to pick up Allah. If, however, she flies to the 3rd platform or the 5th platform, then the tank stood over here will move to Allah and start tanking. Again, this has to do with Flame Buffet because this tank will be closer to Allah and therefore will have fewer Flame Buffets. You could survive 2, maybe 3 Flame Buffets, but if it's more than that, people will start dying, and that's crucial for the fight. If we say that Allah lands on platform 3 over here on the blue marker, then the tank currently stood here on platform 1 has to move to the directly opposite platform of where Allah currently is, which would be the purple one on platform 6. The reason for this is we don't want a tank ever being more than 1 transition away from where Allah could possibly land. Tanks need to be fairly swift. That's why it's best to have a warrior or a druid tank up on the top side, because they have charge, so they can close the gap quicker. Other than that, there aren't that many mechanics in this phase, apart from when Allah changes platform, it will sometimes fly high up in the air and cast something called Flame Quills. If Flame Quills is cast, then everyone on the top floor needs to jump down, otherwise they will die from the damage of Flame Quills. These ramps, they also count as being on the top floor, so stay down here by the foot of the ramp, but don't actually go onto it. As soon as Flame Quill stops, tanks have to move up to their starting positions, so the tank who was starting at platform 1 goes back to platform 1, the tank who was starting at platform 4 goes back to platform 4, and then you restart the encounter. Melee will have a tough time on this. This is one of many bosses where melee aren't favoured. Melee, you will just keep running around, so sometimes you have to run fast, sometimes you don't have to move all that much. That's just how it is. Healers, heal your assigned target. Ranged, always DPS Allah, unless called upon to kill the Phoenix adds if the Paladin tanking them gets overwhelmed. Once we then kill Allah during this phase 1, he will rebirth in the middle. So he'll spawn here in the middle, do some fire damage, and then we stack up. We'll stack up down here at the bottom, just like shown in the picture on the website. And you'll have the main tank starting to tank Allah down here, with the off tank taunting off him whenever Melt Armor is cast. Allah will no longer do the whole platform thing, but it will instead do something called Dive Bomb, where Allah turns into a meteor and hits a random raid member. The damage from this meteor is split between everyone within 10 yards, so we want to stay fairly stacked, so whenever Allah flies up, we can stack in for this, share the damage, get healed up, and then continue the fight. Whenever Dive Bomb is cast, she will also summon a Phoenix ad. This needs to be picked up by the off tank, who will now be tanking Phoenix ads down here by this platform. Again, we won't kill these unless the tank is starting to get overwhelmed. And if that happens, we have to single target kill Phoenixes so we don't have all of them blow up at once and kill the off tank. The last mechanic of this rebirth phase is charge, which will charge a random raid member and put a stack of flame buffet on them. It's not a super deadly mechanic, but we'll just have Allah move around a little bit. Right, I'll show you the fight and see if I can't show you all of the mechanics. I'm on a Demon Hunter during this, just for some added mobility to let you see all of the mechanics. Allah will always start on this first platform, so this is also where we're going to pull it from. So there we go. And now, seeing as I'm not in range, Allah casts Flame Buffet. Stacking debuff. Keeps dealing more and more damage. It seems like it's a bit buggy on this, so still actually cast Flame Buffet even though I am in range. This won't happen on TBC Classic, where it will actually start attacking me. Here we have a Phoenix ad. This will spawn on the ground floor in retail, or in TBC Classic. These need to be killed. Then they do some AoE, and this pushes back. It doesn't push me back because I am high level on this retail character. So this is what happens. In retail, it's always clockwise around the room. Just see if we can't get a Flame Quills as well to happen. If they change the fight during TBC Classic like they did actually originally in TBC, then you could do this fight potentially with only 2 tanks. There's no need for 2 tanks upstairs if it's always moving around clockwise. We'll just have it do a full rotation and then cast Flame Quills. Again, just every 30 seconds. Here we go. Allah flies into the middle, flies further up, and casts Flame Quills. Again, this doesn't kill me because I'm extremely high level, but even still, I'm actually like feeling the damage of this. Right, so I'm going to kill Allah. And now she'll spawn down here. There's a few seconds of rest before Allah actually appears. But here we go. Allah spawned. And yeah, this is the big patch of fire. Don't stand in that. Like, increases damage taken, just deals a bit of damage. Really no reason to stand in it. The graphics in Tempest Keep are a bit annoying because it's all red and purpley, so there's a lot of graphic things going on. But yeah, just look out for it. It's super easy to spot. Here we go with Dive Bomb. hits me, this patch, just jump out of it. We'll have 2 Phoenix ads. Actually got knocked back that time. This is why you want to have your back against the wall. That's basically the whole encounter. You want to try and center Allah as much as possible without obviously standing in a flame patch. Have the group walk around just behind Allah, so we're always semi-stacked, so when it flies up in the air, we can group together, share the damage, then spread out again after that. Just don't spread out like super far. We want to have full effect of chain heal, of totems, of tranquility, any sort of spell we can get around with a bit of AoE healing. Do a last dive bomb, and then I'll see if we can't kill a boss and get some loot. There you go, pattern drop as well. Right, thank you for watching this guide. The next one will be the Void Reaver.